Starfleet Underground. Every week, we'll take a look at the latest Star Trek news and then check out a current or classic episode of Star Trek. Picard and Guinan get interviewed. Corey finds freedom. Rios discovers there are 4 cakes. The FBI guy has been touched by a Vulcan. Seven and Raffi go analog. And when a babe in a tattered red dress shows up, you have to wonder, am I dreaming or is this a nightmare?
What do you mean? That every time anybody orders cake, instantly 4 of them come out, Dot? 4 cakes. Don't giggle. I don't want to hear every time somebody goes into the galley, they scream, there are 4 cakes. Just fix it to it's only 1. What do you mean Heather doesn't want it fixed?
I like cake.
Wait. Are you the one that redid the replicator? It's only 4 cakes?
Is it 4 cakes or is it 4 pieces of cake that make a whole cake?
If the replicator gives me 4 separate cakes, I am obligated to eat it so it doesn't go to waste.
Well, I'm telling you that people are reporting to me, including Dot itself, that there's 1 dot in there. Every time somebody orders cake, it screams and it beeps out, there are 4 cakes.
It could have been because I was updating the lights on the dot, so I made it so 4 lights would appear every single time.
Either that or the replicator thinks it's Picard.
Or that.
It's just okay.
I just want ice cream with the cake. Can I get the side dish of ice cream?
You know, you're going to have to adjust this, Dot. It just told me to shut the fuck up and be happy because at least they're all different flavors.
Why do I have to adjust him? I like that dot.
Good dot.
Oh, you forget all of it.
Infinite diversity and infinite flavors.
Oh, okay. Now that was funny. That was funny. Infinite diversity and infinite flavors. Well, if anybody is going to be aboard our ship, it's a shame Anna's not here this week. I think she would have liked at least 1 piece of cake. She's got to keep her calories up for all the lifting she does. But yeah, we're not.
All the pussy she has to chase.
Yeah, that's true.
The kitty cat. Kitty cat.
Yeah, we're going to clean that up.
Right.
Oh, speaking of which, if you're a kitty cat, which means you're not a full adult cat or under the age of 18, you shouldn't be listening to us. So you need to turn this off, walk out the fucking room right now. Just
get out the litter box.
Just leave.
Not good
it's not your
for
turn
kids.
to listen to us because,
Go find a ball of string and go play with yourself.
Yeah,
Not even good for adults.
Yeah, we're not even good for some adults out there.
No.
I'm sure we've offended a few.
We're so bad that when people see us and recognize us at conventions, they have to whisper that they watch our show. So we're like a dirty little secret out there. So, and our numbers reflect that because we have way more listeners than by rights we really should. And what really surprises me, because hardly none of y'all are so fucking cheap, you can't even join our Patreon for $1.
Ooh.
Even the guy on RoboCop says, I'll buy that for $1.
That's true.
But, we do have our loyal members that do pay, and I don't mean to hop on it from time to time, but
yeah. Well, those loyal members is, I think, what fed the cake to the Tribbles to begin with. I think that's how all this started.
Oh, that's probably true.
Yeah.
We have some good members. We're having a contest for our Patreon people. We're going to probably bring them on board and kidnap them and have them on as a guest pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. So if you want to get a chance to be on the show, we're going to run the random number generator and pull one. So that's going to be quite fun. First off, I have a full crew today, no guests. If you don't know who I am by now, I really don't know who the hell you are either. My name is Nathan, and I'm captain of the board this vessel. I have here our science officer.
Hi, I'm Heather Ferris. I'm the science officer, and my favorite cake is carrot cake. I love carrot cake. What is your guys' favorite cake? I'm just curious.
I'm sorry, why do we care?
Okay, wow. I don't give a shit about your cake. What about you, Captain? What's your favorite cake?
Well, I actually really like red velvet.
Oh, cool. Right on.
And carrot cake would be my second choice.
Yeah, red velvet's good, though.
And then my third is banana cream. Sorry, I'm just
banana cream's good.
Pies.
Oh yeah, but pies count. Pies are sort of like cake.
They have a cake with the cream filling, like a banana cream filling.
Okay, sign me up.
With buttercream frosting.
I'm a cake with a cream filling.
Patrick's cake is just filling. You never say what it's in it, so that's why he doesn't want to mention his cake.
Chocolate.
How about you, Chief?
I am a basic bitch. I like vanilla.
You're a basic bitch.
But red velvet's okay too. But yeah, I'm a basic bitch.
Dude, I'm just a full-on bitch.
You and I can hang, Chief, because I like vanilla also. That's why everybody always says my ice cream is boring, because I just go for vanilla.
Because your ice cream don't bring all the boys to the yard.
Damn right, because it's better than yours. Oh, speaking of better than yours, I have here my excellent first officer.
Hey, I'm Patrick. I'm the computer guy, number 1, and the foreign species liaison. And I'm very, very tired today. Captain's working us like slaves.
Of course, man. We got to get this ship is ready for inspection, and I'm not going to be easy on you guys for it. Speaking on not being easy, Chief,
easy like Sunday morning.
That's how you're going to intro yourself?
That means you're a whore?
Well, sometimes. Hi, everybody. I'm Rocky. I'm the engineer of the show and the ship. And there's all these extra eggs I keep coming across. The dots hid these eggs everywhere. I'm still finding them from Easter.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering where the eggs went. Now I know. I was looking for them.
I thought Nathan quichered them.
Some of them are supposed to be hard-boiled, and they weren't. I was not impressed with that.
That's why Nathan's butt's leaking.
Oh, please, not even, because I don't lay them. And Dada thought he was funny, so he had the holodeck done in a jungle setting, and he said he had hidden eggs all in there, and he warned us that it was camouflaged eggs, and he laughed hysterically and left.
Yeah. How rude, right?
Holodeck humor.
We were there for hours.
Yeah, and eventually we just gave up until it to end program, and all the eggs fell to the floor, which is one of the reasons why Patrick's tired. He had the duty to clean.
He had to clean it up.
So first off, there's something that I've never done on the show before, so this is a first if you're listening to us. So not peg the show, but tag the show, so it's a first. How you doing there, science officer? How you feeling?
Well, okay, since you asked, like my stomach's hurting a little bit, but I don't know why.
Too much cake.
Oh, that might be it.
Too much jizz.
No, that's your department.
How are you, Captain?
My stomach never hurts because of it.
Well, something else is hurting, right?
Nope.
I'm doing okay. Just a little tired. Things are going well. So that's pretty awesome in this position. And how about you, number 1? How are you doing? How's your mother?
I'm tired and she's okay.
Outstanding. And Chief, oh my God.
Yes.
Did you take care of that condition? If somebody taps you on your shoulder, you get an instant erection?
Take care of it? Well, after I get the erection, I have to go take care of it.
Oh, okay. Then how are you doing?
Doing good. Everyone keeps tapping me on the shoulder.
Yeah.
My.
When I was on a shuttlecraft, heading over to Earth for a meeting, there was this Starfleet officer woman sitting in front of me. And every time she sneezed, she'd get this napkin and she'd wipe between her legs. It's like, what the hell? So after the 4th time, I asked her, what's going on with you? Why do you keep doing that? She goes, I got this medical condition. They haven't figured out how to fix it yet. That every time I sneeze, I have an orgasm. It's like, that's really strange. Did they give you anything for it? She goes, no, not yet. And she goes, well, what are you taking for it? They leaving it. She says, well, I use pepper in my napkin.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was bad. That was stupid. But it actually
We're
happened.
starting to show off with a
That just happened.
Oh God, this is gonna be a good one, guys.
Hold on, you guys a bad joke.
Raise the shields because this one's gonna be really good.
Okay, I haven't given a bad joke forever. Just shut up, lay back, relax, and take it. Okay.
Oh, is that what you said to number 1?
No.
Heather, I think HR would have a problem with that comment.
Oh, right.
I would knock him out.
Sorry, HR.
Not supposed to apologize to HR. You're supposed to apologize for the captain in number 1.
No, they enjoyed it.
No.
Secrets. All right, so now that we have all of this being, well, no, not quite. I didn't finish all of my necessary duties this morning. This show is being brought to you by
He said duty.
Section 31, as well as our wonderful Patreon members. So thank you, because you do help, and you'll see on the latest crop of pictures that you've managed to be able to really help the Tribbles to get around and operated on and everything. So thank you. Even that little bit, I feel like the old commercials, like, Joseph is a 10-year-old child that's never eaten. Please send your money to help. So thank you for
we're doing so well that we're able to get group discounts now, and we could do multiple Tribbles at once.
Oh.
Patrick loves having.
Are you doing
multiples
multiple tribbles at once, Heather?
God.
I'm neutering multiple tribbles at once, as seen on the Patreon picture.
The
That's up at the moment.
The Tribbles were like excited for a moment, and then they heard the word neuter, and they just started screaming again.
They started running.
Yeah.
Heather went to a beach, and I won't tell you what she did with the Tribbles. You just have to be our Patreon member to see what she did with the Tribbles.
Yeah.
Beach volleyball?
Well,
not quite.
it was furry.
Yeah,
It was warm.
I will say they were placements. Okay.
Oh, I do have one thing. It's a shout out that on the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd was my half sister's birthday, my mom's birthday, and my half brother's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to them.
Not that they listen to the show, but happy birthday, guys.
I would wish a happy half birthday to the.
Yeah, we'll just put it
halves.
out there. Happy.
No, they still get a full birthday wish.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my birthday wish is to tell me, Patrick, if we had any corrections.
Ooh, yeah, your birthday's coming up here, Captain. So if you guys are listening and you want to get our Captain a birthday gift.
Just shit in a handbag.
Oh, no. Don't do that.
An expensive handbag.
A Birkin.
And then I would vacuum seal it and then regift it to you on yours.
Ooh.
And there are no corrections. Apparently, Subspace is fast today.
Wow. That's pretty cool. All right. Now that we get all our insane tomfoolery out of the way this morning, it started by me. So I take full blame for it, which means I'm going to have a meeting next week. But hey, they weren't supposed to listen to us anyway. So it's their fault. For news, what do you have for us on news today there?
Hi, Captain. So a lifelike digital rendering of a NASA doctor has appeared on the International Space Station as a hologram. The technology was developed by Microsoft and first put to use by European Space Agency astronauts. The new communication technology is dubbed HoloPortation, which is a mix of hologram and teleportation. You could see a picture of what it looks like in the news article, which we will link in the show notes below.
Outstanding.
Man, wasn't that special?
That's actually pretty cool.
This is
I wonder
really
if-
exciting, except for the one person on the space station that has to clean up the filters afterward.
Can you imagine?
They're always cleaning filters on that space station, and now they have to clean holodeck filters. This is the worst kind of filter.
It's like,
Patrick would know.
when is your wife scheduled to be on the holodeck? Shut up. You're not going to be in the room, George.
No. God. It looked pretty interesting, though.
It did. The pixelation looked like it was pretty out there.
Yeah.
But they don't have our technology. But it still is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was a company that worked on that they called virtual telepresence, and it was a conference room table that was split in half, and you had this high resolution glass on the other side of it. And you sat down in front of the thing when the conference started up, people appeared on the other side like they were actually sitting across from you. And the resolution was like 4K, so it looks like they were right there with you.
That is so cool.
Which was really cool till somebody decided to try to peek under the table to see if it continued down there. And that was a whole big meeting.
That's quite some resolution.
Yeah,
And everybody's wearing pajama pants.
but, so that was wild.
Well, because they zoom it in, right? Everyone's wearing shorts.
Yeah. That wasn't as bad as we had a big conference meeting once where the entire company was supposed to show up. I mean, everyone was in these massive conference rooms that could hold up to 200 to 300 people. And some of the satellite areas, of course, had the smaller conference room. Well, had turned all the cameras on everywhere to prep for this. And you saw a man and a woman come into the conference room, look around, and proceed to make out and grab each other in their naughty bits.
What, seriously?
Yeah, and everybody was watching it like, oh, and tried to yell and everything, but apparently the volume was off.
Yeah, we're on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they turned around, they got happy hands with each other, tongued each other, felt each other up, and then left the room. Subsequently, we found out through investigation that they were both married, but not to each other.
Oh, my.
Oh, how exciting.
So, but HR only let that detail out, not the repercussions of being caught on camera, being handsy. So that was definitely interesting.
Well, I'm excited for this technology because I can go see Tupac on the space station now.
Oh, yeah. I thought I saw
That's
him in
true.
the room.
You
You
were
could go
too
to
white to
concert.
be into Tupac.
Oh, God.
I'm from the Bay, yo.
Somebody had them playing cards in the holodeck the other day, Tupac and Biggie. So that was definitely interesting.
Nice.
Number one, what do you have for us news-wise?
Well, I got a couple things here. So On April 27th, which is this coming weekend, the Paley Center in New York is being taken over by the Strange New Worlds exhibit and a Prodigy family activities.
Oh, damn. That sounds cool.
So they will be along. So the series premieres on May 5th, but the first 2 episodes will debut on Sunday, May 1st, which I believe they will get to see that at the Paley Center.
That's really cool.
They get to see the first 2 episodes before we do, and we were at Chicago. Like, what?
Maybe we should try to kidnap one of them and make him a guest.
Oh.
So we can get spoilers.
I'm surprised you guys weren't involved with that.
Yeah, it's far from our pretend live situation.
It's a sore point.
What happened is they heard number 1 got sick from the con crud.
And they're like, don't invite him.
Yeah, he's like, no, it's not. It's just within the 2-week barrier. No, just don't. Just let him go.
Oh, we don't want that here.
No, Dr. Flox wouldn't
He wouldn't vouch for
clearance
it.
to go. He wouldn't say no. Or
Shoot.
Couldn't get a doctor's note.
how about
The
you?
second
Jared?
piece of news. Hold on, I got a second piece of news. What are you talking about?
What? There's more?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my God, I love it. You always give people who are with you more.
Anyway.
when Patrick goes on a date, now his date is going to be expecting something.
Anyway. So Wil Wheaton has a post-Nemesis Wesley headcanon, which is that... So Wesley is a time traveler. We learned that long ago. And... Hold on, where did it go? Dang it. Okay.
He reached into your computer and took it away before you got a chance to read it.
He did. So let's see what it says. Wesley learned a very long time ago that space and time and thought are interconnected in ways that the vast majority of sentient beings do not understand and don't know how to utilize to its full extent. And he has been able to effectively be a Time Lord. Woohoo. And kind of move through space and time. He's decided that whatever species you are from as a traveler, your physical body will continue to age at a normal rate that is consistent with the species of origin. He has spent some time thinking about this, and he's even written his own fan fiction about his character. So he knows what's going on with Wesley post Nemesis, and there's some stuff that was in Nemesis where you kind of see him like a little bit off screen, but he says it's non-canonical. So it's whatever happened to him in that scene in Nemesis isn't canon. And he wants to be on lower decks.
Everybody wants to be on lower decks.
That would be fun.
Yeah, he's a Time Lord.
Doctor
He's gonna be
Who.
Time Lord, huh?
So that's where the
Doctor Who.
screwdriver came from.
Dr. Wesley.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Jared's heart is beating in.
Yes.
Wesley's Crusher.
Wesley's here.
Which doctor is it? Is it 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14?
Probably 18
He
at this
is
point.
all the doctors.
Is he the War Doctor, though? Do you know who the War Doctor is?
Yeah, that was the
John
That
Hurt.
was the old guy.
yeah, John Hurt.
Yeah, him.
But yeah, so thanks, Wesley. And I just gave the engineer all kinds of, if you didn't hear any type of theme music or repeat, that's thanks to our engineer. He does a really good job of making sure we don't violate stuff. So that's amazing. So thank you very much for that news article. And now we're going to flip over to Chief. What do you got for us?
Oh, my brain just shorted out because I was thinking of the techno remix version of the Doctor Who theme from Orbital. It was just awesome. And the beat
love
drops.
Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah, it was good stuff. The news I was looking at, easiest place for me to find it was trekmovie.com because they've got all my favorite Trek news. Not that I don't get any reimbursement or anything for mentioning this. I just like watching the news from time to time. They had a story on Nicholas Meyer, who was on Twitter. They've got all the little videos collected for you to look in one place, but they're all on Twitter. Of course, Nicholas Meyer was the director of Wrath of Khan, and he wrote it as well, and co-wrote The Voyage Home, and directed The Undiscovered Country, and also a consulting producer on the first season of Discovery. So this Nicholas Meyer guy might sound familiar to you people, if you happen to be a Trekkie. He developed a mini-series about Khan Noonien Soong set on SETI Alpha 5, telling the story of what happened to Khan between the TOS episode Space Seed and Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. And it was apparently a 3-part mini-series. It's all written out and it's just sitting there. He wrote it out and he hasn't heard a thing about it. So he gave it to Star Trek, and I think somebody just filed it away someplace. But he says it's just sitting there. Who knows? Could be a mini series, could be something else. It sounds like an exciting story, and you can learn about it on Twitter by following him.
If you're going to be a miniseries, Chief, who would be your ideal actor to play Khan?
That's a good question.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch
But he
would
does
be pretty
it. But
good.
iconic thing was that Chippendale's muscle chests and stuff.
I don't know. It's a good question. I'll have to get back to you, do some research.
Yeah, I wonder if Jason Momoa, he's big enough.
Oh, fuck.
Perfect.
Oh, my
I
God.
think you just hit the nail on the head.
Holy cow. With
That
the
would
gray
be
hair,
totally
too?
perfect.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. Talk about some serious wrath. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that would be awesome.
I think that would be pretty
You just
cool.
signed me up. I'm there, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me
I
too.
think that would be pretty cool if he'd be willing to do it. I think that's awesome. I'd be curious. That would be a really good little mini series to watch. I know I'd watch it. That's for certain. Okay, I guess my news. For those of you that are really anxious and Section 31 is sleeping on the job. That's all I can say, or else this wouldn't even be a thing. So I don't know how that happened. If you really want to get an idea of what's going to happen on the first 5 episodes of Strange New Things,
Strange New Things?
Strange New Things. Strange Worlds. Thank you. Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. I'm extra anxious about that too.
I'm sorry. That's Strange Things.
Yeah.
Stranger Things. That's a different podcast,
Stranger
sir.
Things.
But that's
Strange New Worlds.
That is
You can
the
see what's
perfect
to be
mashup.
expected. IMDb had put out short synopsis on it. And because you guys are friends of the show and you actually listen to us and we love our family so much, episode 1 is going to be out on May 5th. And it states Captain Christopher Pike comes out of a self-imposed exile to rescue an officer gone missing during a secret mission. Episode 2, Children of the Comet. An ancient alien relic thwarts the Enterprise crew from rerouting a comet on track to strike an inhabited planet. Episode 3, Ghost of, I put this here only to mess up Nathan from speaking it, Ilaria. Thank you.
I like his pronunciation. Let's just go with his.
Una must
That was
confront
perfect.
a secret that she's been hiding when a contagion ravages the ship and incapacitating the rest of the crew. Episode 4, Memento Mori. So I guess they have memento candies. Pike must find an unconventional Starfleet method to deal with a malevolent force that attacks the Enterprise. In episode 5, Spock Amok. A personal visit causes a comedy of errors during Spock and Pike's crucial negotiations with an unusual alien species. So now you get hints on what the first 5 shows are about. And they have a trailer featuring some of the exciting and intrigue that audiences can expect from this series.
You guys know what memento mori means?
Tell us.
Memories forever? Well, memories of death?
No. It's Latin for remember you must die.
Because
Oh,
I know
that's
the
nice.
memento is memories, and Mori I knew was death, but I
I thought
didn't know
Maury
that was
was
a translation.
Povich and Memento was that movie that went
No.
backwards.
He only
No.
appears and points at you and goes, "You are not the father."
Oh, thank God. I was worried about that.
Well, if that's about death, then no wonder why they need a comedy of errors right after that.
Yeah, and you probably hear him. I just took a DNA test, found out that I'm not that father. Oh, okay, let's start. All right, that was my news, and so I guess we could get ready to get started. I have no idea who was supposed to do the synopsis today. Was it you, Heather?
Oh, it was Patrick.
Liar.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it was me. I only said that because Patrick texted us at 11 o'clock at night. I just got home. I'm so tired. I'm like, oh yeah, you definitely did the synopsis then. Totally your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this week we saw Star Trek Picard
Wait,
season.
I'm confused. Who is it?
I did it. It's my turn.
Okay.
When in doubt, Heather did it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
If I'm giving him bullshit, I definitely did it.
All right. Oops,
Yeah.
she did it again. All right, let's get started.
Star Trek Picard, Season 2, Episode 8, Mercy. It first aired April 21st, 2022. Teaser, a 2-minute finish. We start off with a flashback of a kid we don't recognize. As he is running through the woods, he trips, falls, and then sees 2 Vulcans. Fast forward to a bloody table with handcuffs and a none too pleased Picard and Guinan. The FBI agent, Wells, is asking all sorts of awkward and personal questions, such as, are you an extraterrestrial life form? Guinan laughs her ass off, and the FBI agent jots down that Guinan's species has a sense of humor. After a few more questions, Guinan calls him on his bullshit, resolving resulting in a threat that they will never be seen or heard from again. That teaser was literally 2 fucking minutes long.
I really kind of thought that was kind of strange because it's like an X-Files guy and the guy is a poor man's version of Fox Mulder. That being said, I think this really showcases the new actress's version of Guinan. I thought that was kind of cool the way she didn't answer the question, so technically she wasn't lying.
Wait a minute, there's a new actress playing Guinan? What?
No, that was Whoopi underneath the
CG of Whoopi was really good.
the camera. But I thought it was cool because they both weren't really lying. He's like, "You're an alien." "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are." "Nope, I can honestly say I am not an alien."
Yeah, because he's human. He's from Earth,
Exactly.
just like, that's next section.
Yeah, and then Whoopi, all she did is like, "You're an alien." Really? Is that what you think? That's not an answer.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool. And
that
you
was
could tell
good
the guy
deflection.
was
I thought it was pretty cool that the cameras looked unplugged. They didn't know about wireless cameras.
Oh my God, what if they were?
Well, there would have been some light on it.
I thought
Show
it
that
was
operating.
funny that even the newer looking cameras mounted on the wall are unplugged and screwed up. Usually it's an old school looking box with a lens at it from the 70s and a blinking LED that's like, it's not plugged into the wall. It's not a real camera.
No, did you also realize that they do that only for television? That majority of all security cameras and observation devices have no lights on them.
And they all looked plugged in, but they're not all on.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and you
wait,
can't
aren't
tell.
they like pinhole cameras? The camera, if you look at the back of your phone and what the camera looks like, why don't they just mount that into the wall next to the smoke detector? Because that looks more inconspicuous than a camera on the wall.
Well, they have them, security cameras these days. If you go to buy people's houses or anything else, there's no lights. They never have lights on security camera. They do it for TV. They do it so people can realize, oh, there's a light there, so somebody's watching it. And there's no plot point that, did you disable the cameras? Yes, I just saw the light went out. You never know.
Okay, that's a good point.
You never know.
No, I just turned off the light. It's still rolling.
And pro tip, if you're in a place and you want to tell if there's hidden cameras, use your phone. Your phone picks up infrared or the camera on your phone.
Well, you're supposed to do it in the dark, right?
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Well, a lot of things in the dark.
Yeah, you can
It works
point
better for me, I tell you what.
If you point your TV remote at your camera, you can actually see the infrared lights flash in front of your remote, even though you don't see it with the naked eye. So just turn out the lights to the place you're at, take your phone camera, and just slowly get close to every suspicious device in the room, and you'll be able to tell.
The irony is
That doesn't mean your vibrators.
No, they're not suspicious.
they were so worried about the camera being unplugged, they didn't notice that he was still recording audio.
Did he? Was he?
I don't think so, but they could have anybody with a phone talking about the phones could be recording audio. So
True.
They even have that setting on iPhones. If you leave one of your earbuds in a room and then walk out with your phone and press the little ear on your notification thing, it will activate and listen through the earbud.
Oh, that's not cool.
Yeah, they do that supposedly to help people like who has hearing problems, so they can put their earbud up next to the professor or something and still
it's
hear
like,
it
yo,
clearly.
honey, I wanted a Coke. Could you give me a Coke?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's
And
one of
then
those.
And you leave it in the kitchen, and just like this man was talking to his wife, thinks she's hard of hearing. She goes, honey, can you hear me? While he's like 30 feet behind her, she doesn't say anything. Gets a little closer. Honey, can you hear me? She doesn't say anything. And he gets right up on her and he goes, honey, can you hear me? She goes, God damn it, Herman, I've answered you yes 3 times now.
That's good. So he has the hearing problem, not
Exactly.
her. I like that dad joke.
Anyway, I appreciate that the scene, like, really instantly, Guinan realizes that, one, we're super off the books.
Mm-hmm.
And that also shows, like, wait a minute, that means there could be super in danger, too, because even though he says it's just an interview, you're locked in a room with no way to get out, and nobody knows you're there.
Yeah, if it's just an interview, you're within your legal rights to just get up and leave.
I wonder
You're not
if they
required
even
to
tried
stay.
the door. I wonder if
you
the door
heard- you
was
heard it
unlocked
lock.
the entire
It's got
time.
one of those buzzy lock things.
Yeah,
So
you've heard it,
Oh.
you've heard it lock.
Oh, okay.
You know, so that was pretty cool. I guess we can move on to the next. Patrick didn't have a lot to say for this one. Suspicious.
Well, he probably spent all the time in the bathtub, I'm sorry.
Gross.
Did you have anything to say about this section, Patrick?
No, you guys said it all. You're good.
Now I'm scared. Okay, go ahead. Let's go to the next.
Aye, Captain. Act 1. Jurati, the Angel of Mercy. Storyline A. The FBI agent, Wells, knows that Picard and his crew crashed the Europa Gala. Guinan does some amazing deduction of her own and reads Wells like a book. This is personal. Storyline B. Corey is still investigating when she puts on a VR helmet and searches Adam Soong's lab virtually. When she finds Q, a living program that was left behind when Q hacked into her father's network, she figures out or confirms that Corey is indeed an experiment. That's when Q gives her a gift. The antidote. Storyline C. Seven and Raffi are searching for Jurati when Seven does some good old-fashioned detective work and asks witnesses where Jurati went. Seven and Raffi head in that direction and find the guy Jurati left the bar with. Unfortunately, he's kinda dead. Seven thinks the Borg Queen was searching for the addictive feeling of being connected to a hive mind, but she couldn't get that with her current body. So frustrated, she took her anger out on the guy she wasn't able to assimilate. Raffi makes a lover's quip at the wrong time, causing Seven to call out Raffi's manipulativeness. That's when Seven notices the dead guy's damaged cell phone. Seven explains, when the Borg assimilate you, they inject you with stabilizing metals like what's in this cell phone battery. It allows the body to handle the nanoprobes easier. Seven starts to have PTSD flashbacks of what it was like to be assimilated, and Raffi makes the situation 100 times worse when she starts talking about how they're probably going to have to kill their best friend Jurati. Good thing they hear the Borg Queen nearby, because if looks could kill. They run to the Borg Queen, who is stealing batteries out of cars, when she sees them and attacks, incapacitating Seven and choking Raffi to death. We see the real Jurati come back just in the nick of time, showing Raffi mercy and saving her life.
So if Jurati was hungry and the Borg Queen was hungry, there's plenty of corner food trucks and food carts in downtown LA. She didn't have to eat the batteries.
Well, it didn't have the right metals.
Well, yeah, you got. She likes the heavy metal, man. She wasn't hungry for no cheeseburger. I'm surprised she didn't end up at the hardware store like licking every 9-volt battery in the aisle.
I mean, you never know what's in those food carts and food trucks anyway. So she could have been getting heavy metals from a cheeseburger.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but going right for the battery source, that's like more efficient. And
yeah, she wanted more than that.
And
she didn't want scraps.
No, and they didn't know that the ginger guy could have been mostly dead.
I thought, and I've been forever traumatized by watching this movie. There's a line in the movie Men at Work, which had Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, and Keith David in it. Yeah. And it's somebody, looky here, somebody threw away a perfectly good white boy. It's just, find a dead guy in the ground. And it just right through my head the second I saw that scene.
That scene was meant to be funny, but also shows you how often they discover bodies. Because they wasn't shocked. They just opened it up. Another body. Okay.
So as someone from LA, you're like, oh, look, there's another dead body. Okay. Just another Saturday.
And keep going.
Anyway, I kind of thought, well, wow, because they explained what happened. Like he couldn't satisfy her. So basically, she ghosted him, literally permanently ghosted his ass.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
In New York, you have the same somebody falls in front of a subway and the train runs over. This is an actual phrase I heard. Oh, and I was there. The train ran over the guy. Everybody's upset. Majority of the people on the station's like, oh, damn, now I'm going to be late for work.
Right?
Yeah.
Public transit's a bitch, man.
Yeah. Not that somebody died. Oh, my God, what happened? The tourists were freaking out. The New Yorkers is like, damn it, I got to find another way in. I'm going to be late. So,
well, that sad son of a bitch that got thrown in front of a train doesn't have to worry about it. So,
Oh, God.
But that tells you how often something like that happens, that's the response.
Yeah. So that was the whole thing about when you said with from Men at Work. But the part where, first off, Jurati, when she started running across the cars like a deranged superhero.
Oh, my God.
And then she literally WWE's, Seven and smashes her up the thing, knocks the phone.
Yes.
And then starts to shows you how much the queen hates Raffi, because she didn't try to assimilate her.
She Darth Vader'd her.
She was trying her best to kill her.
She lifted her up by her neck and asked, where are the rebel plans?
Yeah, really.
Basically.
I was kind of amused that there were that many cars with a trunk that she could run straight across, because there weren't any hatchbacks, there weren't any pickups, there weren't any SUVs. It was all trunks all the way across.
I just feel sorry for people who get out of work and go, what the fuck happened to my car?
Those heels might leave scuffs, right?
Oh my God, I am digging her outfit. Like, I want to cosplay as her in the next convention with a ripped up dress and those boots. I would freaking love that cosplay.
I mean, it's hot enough, and it gets the slow-mo treatment from the ground up camera shot.
And how lucky she was that the Ginger had the exact same size as her.
Yes, I noticed that. I thought that was funny.
She grabs, and it shows that I do think that Agnes had still a little bit more control, because the Queen was really like somebody who's constipated trying to take a dump. She had that look that she really wanted to snap her like a twig. And we know that she could, because what she did to those handcuffs shows you that she was keeping her from killing her and really enforced and finally said no. And the Queen was like, okay, fuck it. I can't overrule you. I'm out.
It was interesting.
Yeah, it was. That was really something. And it was surprising to see Seven get knocked out so quickly.
That doesn't normally happen, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Well, she's fully human now, too.
Yeah,
so
she's got
true.
a fragileness about her now.
Good point.
That's a
one.
good point. But
Really
something
good point.
Seven said that I thought was really interesting was she brought up the fact that she's digesting imperfect metals, so she's going to have imperfect results. And I thought that line was really telling, because it was like going to foreshadow that something was going to go wrong later on with like the Queen's new drones.
Oh,
yeah, they're not going to be your full on looking Borg. They're
not going to be fully assimilated. Yeah, which means that they'll probably come back and be like, "What the fuck is going on? What am I doing?
What is my memory?
Who slipped me a Mickey?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. And then you could see Q went and he basically hijacked her VR and told her, hey, I knew you was going to discover it.
Was that the telepresence thing, the holoportation?
Yeah.
Was that in,
I think
was that in this section? That's next session, isn't it?
No, that was
this section.
in this section.
Where he
when Q hijacks
the program.
Corey's program.
She puts on the VR and she's looking, and she wonders, am I experienced? And he's like, you're in a prison. Here's the key. Are you brave enough to use it? I like the way Q is manipulative like that. It's like, oh, here's the solution. Are you going to use it?
Oh, super manipulative.
Q
he doesn't
always
even
does
need
that.
his powers.
That's a standard Q thing, because Q did that shit back when I was playing a video game, and Q was the video game. I don't remember which game it was, but that was a awesome play along video game, like Laserdisc style or something or other like that, where you follow Q.
Raffi should take notes.
Well,
yeah, really.
Like, people could be manipulative in different ways. Like, Q has his way of being manipulative, and then Raffi, as we see later on, has her way of being manipulative,
And then he does a whole Alice in Wonderland by putting a little tag on the vial.
Yes.
It says freedom rather than drink me or eat
I thought
me.
that too when I saw that. I'm so glad you picked up on that.
Well, it's like, wow. But then they do a nice little mini cliffhanger between the acts, because you don't know if she actually does drink it or use it or not.
Yeah.
So
Well, he put on
question.
there freedom because he didn't want to put on there, you've got to keister this.
Well, you got to put instructions, and apparently that wasn't the instruction you wanted to know about.
That's true. You don't know how they insert it with an injection or like preparation H up the pooper.
I mean, it had that shape. That's what I thought when I first saw the shape.
Yeah, it's a suppository.
Little butt nugget.
So that was definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we cover everything in this section? Did we milk it sufficiently?
One of the things I want to bring up is when 7 of 9 has her PTSD moment, and she recalls being assimilated when she was 6 years old, which, by the way, if you have, trauma and PTSD, you could totally go back to being 6 years old and experience it all over again. So that was pretty accurate. But if you want to see where they talk more about it, they talk more about her being assimilated at the age of 6 in Voyager, The Gift, which is season 4, episode 2, and Once Upon a Time, which is season 5, episode 5. This combined with the Borg's statement in Penance, where Annika is assimilated in 2350. This means that 7 of 9 was born in 2344 and is 57 years old.
She looks really good for 57 years old.
Oh, she's a hot 57-year-old.
Oh
I just, you brought up all these old Voyager episodes. I bet one of them was the one where 7 regresses and starts acting out the children that were being assimilated.
Yeah.
And she goes through several different ones through the entire scene. Yeah. And it was a most amazing piece of acting I have ever seen in Star Trek. I mean, she's good. Phenomenally surprising coming from this Borg. It was like one character that was like one style, and this entire rainbow of acting skill came out of this woman. It was so cool. And we only got a tiny little piece of taste of her just remembering back and tasting the assimilation, you know.
I'm really glad that Jerry
leaves a little metal taste in your mouth.
Are you doing robots again? I really love how she's come this far, because if it wasn't for Star Trek, she had issues because her husband was like a congressman or something and tried to make her do an orgy, and she refused, and he gave her all kinds of abuse. Yeah.
That's where she got the name Ryan. That was her husband's name.
Oh, really?
And he tried to get her to join a sex club and everything, and be an orgy and be passed around.
You can't force that kind of thing. You got to either want it or you don't want it, you know?
Maybe that's what that young senator was talking about on the news.
Yeah, it's possible.
I forgot his name.
She turned him down, and she's
Hawthorne.
like, no, and she divorced him because of it.
Wow.
You know, she's not property. Marriage is not ownership.
Well, that's true.
Wait a minute, it's not?
Well,
no, it isn't. But that was a good section. What are we up to now? Section 3 or 2? No,
Section
we just said
2.
2. Section 2. Okay, we can go to the next section.
Aye, Captain. Act 2. You want this cake? I want it. You want this cake? I want it. That's why I had to send you guys. Okay. Anyway, storyline D. The kid is touching every button. The kid is touching every button while the ship is running diagnostics. To ease his mom's anxiety, Rios shows them the replicator, and the kid, also, his name is Ricardo, orders 4 cakes and then eats them all by himself. The doctor, however, decides that this is a good time to freak out Rios by telling him a story of their future life as a married couple. At the end, she says, "Tell me a fundamental, deepest truth that in another life, it took me a decade to learn about you." And just as Rios starts to answer, they are interrupted by a kid, just like an old married couple. But the first words he said did earn him a kiss. Storyline A, back in the interrogation room, the FBI agent knows about Rios and the clinic. Plus, he found Rios's lost communicator there. The agency is having it tested for alien technology. Then he splits up Guinan and Picard as an interrogation tactic. Hours later, Picard is still being interrogated and he still sees 4 lights. Guinan, on the other hand, has a very intense meeting with Q, who finally answered her summons. Yes, he's late, but this was a ritual, not a summons, and he has no powers. Why? Because he's dying. But isn't he immortal? During this discussion, Q gives her a big clue that it's not the trap, but the escape that counts. As well as this nugget of wisdom, humans, they are all trapped in the past.
So how do we go from storyline A to storyline D? What happened to B and C?
Oh, they didn't show it in this one, and I wanted to keep it accurate. So I wanted to keep each storyline the letter. So I didn't want to do A, B, C, and then have it be like a different section for every single one. I wanted to keep like all of Rios' stuff with this letter, all of Picard's stuff with letter A.
Continuity.
I'm trying.
Very cool.
Somebody's more organized than I am.
No,
and I'm the engineer of the ship.
Or anal.
Now, what I thought was really, every time he's on the screen, that man is so mesmerizing. Is John Delancey.
That was intense.
He's really, and the look on his face, and that's what the line that really gets me also is when Guinan figures it out and tells him, you're dying.
Yeah.
And then how he looks at her with kind of like surprise and disdain at the same time. And it's like, another quality I sincerely loathe about your species, empathy.
I think it's something he knew, but he wouldn't admit to himself. And then when she said it, he couldn't deny it anymore. And that's why he got really pissed off.
Yeah. And the way he did his finger snap so frustrating in front of her. He's like, think, see?
I was trying to vaporize you.
I laughed my ass off at that. That was so wonderful.
It's like, how did you get here? The bus?
The snap's not working, yo.
You see that?
I had to walk.
I'm honestly trying to vaporize you at this moment.
I had to walk into the room physically. I couldn't snap into existence.
I know.
What the fuck?
I can hear him now. I had to fucking Uber here, okay?
I had a very bad day.
That was just really wild. But again, anytime he's on the screen, he just pulls your attention.
Well, he carries a lot of weight in this scene. He talks about being on the threshold of the unknowable. He talks about the warm glow of meaning.
Oh, yeah.
Death.
Yeah.
And that's like a
I
theme.
thought the worm glow was jizz.
No.
That's in your room.
Well, you feel like sometimes you die after you jizz, but eventually you wake back up and everything's fine. This is like permanent dead death we're talking about here. And the idea of you only have so much time left that you are finite is really fucking freaky for a Q. But this is a common theme I think we have in Picard, because we had a little bit of this in the first season where Picard was realizing his time is limited.
Well, death is the final frontier.
Well, right, there you go.
Literally.
I like how they made it where Q thought that it was very interesting at first, like it was something new, it was something different. And then when he expected some kind of meaning to come with it and it didn't come with it, there was just nothing there. He got very sour. And I thought that was really interesting to see his character go through.
Yeah, because if you think about it, he's been around since time.
Yeah.
And for him to finally says, my God, I'm going to get a new experience. I'm going to get something that I haven't experienced as a Q. This is there's nothing.
Yeah, it's like everything's not working. I feel like crap, it's not doing what I thought it would do. Yeah, it sounds like getting old.
Yeah, welcome to old age.
At first, it sounded like you said that sounds like anal.
God damn it, I heard that too.
I was like,
Why did I
what?
hear that too? That's
Because
disturbing.
Patrick influences all of us. That's why.
I'm like, why is Heather talking about anal?
So,
Well, I could.
Why during Star Trek show? I mean, she talks about it all the time, but during the Star Trek show, why is she talking about it?
Okay, we were just talking about anal with the blue, pill. We talk about anal all the time. That's why this show is not made for kids or some adults.
no.
So all humans are trapped in the past. This has a lot of meaning. I think it goes back to the, if you don't know about history, you're doomed to repeat it. And humans tend to do that, but they also use it as a way to self-improve. If you look back, you learn what you've done and learn to get better at something. But the humans are all trapped in the past. So it's like,
I think they were talking more about trauma and being trapped in the past. Because if you look at Wells and what happened to him when he was a child, he was traumatized. He couldn't let it go. He was ruminating about it all the time, which means he was constantly trapped in the past. And it was the reason why he went the path that he did, because he was trapped in the past. So I think it has a lot more about trauma.
That's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you let people rent space in your head, or let an event rent space in your head, rent space in your head, then you are stuck in that moment. And until you can resolve that, you can't move on from it.
Well, they've done scientific studies about this. And when you are in your head and you're remembering a past event, your body is physically going through that past event again. Like you are getting the same cortisol, you're getting the same endorphins, you're getting the same chemicals. Your body is acting like it is in that moment in time that you are thinking, that you are ruminating about. And that's why mindfulness helps people with anxiety and depression who do ruminate a lot, because mindfulness brings you back into the moment, so you're not stuck in that past.
So I was thinking about 4 cakes. And now I have a weight problem. So this is not entirely unrelated, right?
All space is here. All time is now.
I thought it was hilarious when Rios had the statement and Picard had to read the statement, and he was talking about the crusty old admiral.
Wait a minute. That sounds like somebody it's me.
The look on Picard's face
I know.
when he had to read that was so funny. And then he says, a flesh and blood robot, but nobody ever brings that up again. And I'm thinking, hello, Cylons? Isn't that just another word for Cylons? And no one is ever going to mention it again?
Of course, that's a family secret. His dad was Beltar. So
Yeah, well,
Toasters.
yeah.
Toasters.
You got
it's a
that.
skin job.
Yep.
I was gonna say whenever I see Cylons, I get hungry for Pop-Tarts.
Interesting connection.
Toasters. You put a Pop-Tart in a
I
toaster.
just eat them straight out of the package. There's probably something wrong with me.
No Pop-Tarts.
Well, we don't have enough time to go into that on this episode.
This is a short podcast.
Oh, jeez.
So what about the moment where Rios and the doctor is, the moment I fell for you was just like the trigger. That I don't know.
He wasn't supposed. He broke all the laws. He broke all the rules.
And then it's like they're destined to hook up. It's like he can't do anything wrong with this woman.
No, they're setting it up that he's going to stay behind when they go back. That's what it feels like.
That would be too many
No,
butterflies.
he's got a Stargazer to come back to.
Yeah,
but
he has to pilot
And
the
he has
ship.
me to come back to.
Hello.
No, I thought you were supposed to be with Elnor. What's going on? You switching sides already?
Well, Elnor did die.
It's a polyamorous relationship.
Okay, that makes sense. I know that works. That's headcanon right there.
But
is this you being romantic?
God, that was. But you can see she's really digging him because she gives that whole scenario about their marriage already. She's already in her head canon. They're
it was
married.
Such a head trip because normally, do you have these kinds of conversations? It's like, is that something that they lay it all out there? Like,
and you can see Rio was probably like, okay, let me go show you my captain's log. Let's go.
No. Imagine 10 years in the future. What?
It's like, seriously. Yeah. Part of her must know that he can't stay. So she's trying to get as much out of this moment as possible.
I'm thinking he's going to take them with him.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that cause butterflies too?
It should, because you don't know the hell. The only way that doesn't cause an online, both of the times that the Enterprise has gone in the past, including with Kirk, they tried to do a history search to see if that person's family line has any effect on the past. Like they did that officer when they brought that
this is confusing though, because they're in an alternate version of reality. So even if they Google back with their current machines, Googling capabilities, it's not accurate to the reality they want to get to in the first place. So
you get a good point.
It's not a matter of family line either, because she's a doctor. She saves people. What if one of the people that she saves end up dying, and that ruins the timeline?
That's a good point there.
They didn't do that with the whale doctor.
No, they didn't. They just forgot it. Yeah, but it's definitely, if you think about it, that's why I think the Temporal Police just all quit.
They said, fuck this.
They should have showed up.
Yeah.
They're out eating donuts,
totally
man.
Done. I thought it was cool too that they were having the communicator badge tested for alien technology, but it's from Earth. Like, no, it's not alien technology. It's Earth technology. It's just from the future.
And it's really advanced.
Should we move on?
Yeah, I guess we should.
Aye, Captain. Moving on. Act 3, Guardians of the Galaxy. Storyline C. Raffi needs a few minutes to rest after the Borg Queen almost killed her by strangulation. Jurati could have killed her, but she didn't. 7 notes that mercy is not a Borg quality, so they haven't completely lost Jurati. However, she did eat those carb batteries, so...
She's amped up.
But she did that so she could assimilate people. Having no clue where to look for her, they decide to check the dead guy's search history, but 7 has to fix the phone first. While Raffi is waiting, she admits that she does in fact manipulate people. For example, Eleanor wanted to do a mission for the Quat Mulat, but Raffi manipulated him into going to Starfleet Academy instead. If she hadn't done that, he would still be alive. Perfect time for the phone to be fixed as they figure out where Jurati is headed. Storyline B. Corey confronts Soong and asks him to explain his experiments. He does the best he can, but ends up starting an argument. Soong's gaslighting is the reason why Corey questions her reality. The stories of her mother were all lies. Soong doesn't procreate. He willed Corey into existence. Disturbed, Corey leaves. Free, thanks to Q's gift, and Soong is completely mind-blown. Drinking away his sorrows of his lost legacy, Adam Soong gets a surprise visit from the Borg Queen. Storyline A. Picard is still answering questions when he gets a horror movie type voicemail from Guinan. All humans are stuck in the past. Picard picks up on the clue and digs deeper into Wells' past. You share your truth and I'll share mine. Wells tells him a story. He was the little kid who stumbled across the Vulcans, one of them trying to do a mind meld before they were beamed away. Picard explains this, and then he tells him his truth. He's from the future, and he's here to save the galaxy.
That part I thought was kind of cool. Like we were stating in the last episode about how your past could dictate who you are now, and to get more information out of that. And it's like when he told him, you could see with Wells's face that finally somebody believes him. This wasn't something that it was made up. This wasn't something that he had to go search for to find someone who, disprove. It's somebody who knew exactly what those in his mind things were, and that they weren't trying to suck his brain out.
Not even a little?
This whole time.
He probably didn't have a whole lot to suck out.
Well, he was younger, yeah.
It's like, are you sure?
You saw the recognition in his face when Picard did the finger thing. He's like, oh yeah, that's right. That's how it was.
That's how they fingered
me.
me.
Know this?
It's like, and Picard was like, and that's what we call a Vulcan shaka.
When the walls fell.
One 2 in the pink and 1 in the stink.
Yikes.
But
I thought it was interesting, though, because Picard being the synth Picard, I remembered back into the other season where one of the synths actually did a mind meld. And I was thinking, oh my God, is Picard going to meld with this dude? That's insanity.
He just wanted to show him.
He just showed him the fingering.
Yeah, he showed him that they weren't trying to suck away your mind. They were trying to make you forget this traumatic experience you had. And it looks like they get beamed away too quickly.
So you didn't live your whole life being freaked out and, panicked. But then it was supposed to happen the way it happened because he was there to be the person to let them go.
And that really gave him a sense of purpose. You could see it in his eyes right then and there.
So, it's funny because like I always say that, all the stuff that I went through in my life, my addiction and what have you and everything. I always say, it made me who I am today. So I don't regret any of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
I want to say that too. Like after all the events that have happened in my life, I don't think I would be the same person today if things had gone differently. And I don't know the type of person I would have been if things had been different.
Darn, we will never know.
You could have been like the alternate universe Picard that was the evil person, the Picard that was evil. He didn't think he could become that, but situations dictated where he wanted to be known as the Borg killer,
Yeah.
So it's definitely different. Everything that impacts you changes you. Every time you meet someone and engage in a conversation, the old you dies and a new you is born in its place. Things are constantly changing us. And
that's why I keep talking to you, Nathan. I keep hoping you'll die.
Oh my God, you were so horrible, Patrick. I heard something that your cells in your body change every 7 years to the point where you're a completely different person than you were 7 years ago.
That's true. Your skeleton is a new skeleton every so often. That's why it's important to do your vitamins and all this other stuff you're supposed to take in order for it to keep repairing itself. Only thing science can't figure out is why we age. They've discovered things in the body that they can reset to keep us younger, but they haven't figured it out fully. One of the disturbing things, which makes you think about vampires, they found that if you get a transfusion of a younger person's blood, your body actually becomes younger.
Yeah, I read that science article. That was so crazy.
Yeah. So that's definitely interesting. So that's when Patrick says he keeps his youthful demeanor because he bathes in the bloods of his enemy. It's not a joke.
Is that the kind of bath you were taking last night, Patrick?
No.
Did someone at work piss you off and you had to bathe in their blood?
No. Last night was just, I'm old and my back was hurting.
Oh, really? But that
Why
was
is
that
your
was
back
good.
hurting?
I was going to chase that.
I was packing up an entire office of computers.
Oh, I thought you were
something else.
That last word. You said computers. I thought it was going to be another noun you was going to use.
Nope. I packed up 19
Man,
offices and 5 desks worth of computers.
that is a lot. But I also like the way, you said that the horror movie Guinan came in.
Yeah, it was a horror movie. She left a voicemail horror movie or horror movie voicemail.
That was kind of weird. She could have just shouted in from the next room over, Picard! Hey!
But we never saw that before. We never saw her species do that.
Oh, I know. Can her species do that?
Yeah, never
Did
saw
Wells
Apparently they
see
can.
her?
Apparently,
Yeah.
they can, yeah.
Did only Picard see her, or did Wells see
Yeah,
her?
Wells was
Picard.
seeing
No,
that too.
Picard.
Wells was a little freaked out by it.
Oh my God! Yeah, those eyes.
I don't think he saw it. He was looking at Picard and wondering why Picard was staring off at this empty space in the room.
Oh, so he didn't see it.
Well, either way, that guy's
that's what I got.
He's on an X-Files trip so hard right now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he didn't see it. He didn't see it. He was like, if you saw a little kid in your room and he points to a corner and goes, "Who's that lady?" and you don't see anyone, yeah, you'd freak the fuck out also.
Yeah. Or who's that guy dressed in black holding that
really.
knife? Oh,
my
shit.
God. That wouldn't be good. But he got it. And to Picard's, wait, did we get to the part where Picard tells him his truth in this section?
Exchange of truth.
Yeah, did he tell? Okay, so
Yeah.
Picard looks at him. He goes, "Okay, now I'm going to tell you my truth." And he's like, "I'm from the future. This is what's
And
gonna
I need
happen."
your help. I thought that was like the sealer of the dealer right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
I am from the future and we need your help. So
Because we're from the future and we're too stupid to fix this.
He's a civil
Oh my
servant.
God.
He's going to be a sucker for this. Of course he's going to help.
yeah. And
well, plus he was
listened.
touched by Vulcans when he was
yes.
when he was a child. So
Oh my.
Show us where the Vulcan touched you.
show us on this doll where the Vulcan
face.
touched you.
On the face. It's on the face. Okay.
Wow.
But he
On the head.
I give him credit.
They fingered him on the head.
Yeah.
It was a facial.
It was a
the
Bukkake.
fun one.
Oh, man. How about this freedom moment that Corey gets? I swear to God, they should have dubbed in George Michael's freedom right there in that scene when she's walking out.
And he
Or at
gets,
least a picture of a jukebox just sitting there catching fire or something,
but he gets all attitude. Oh my God, what a narcissist this guy is.
You
he
can't
has a
be
moment
me.
to-
I
Totally.
made you. Man.
Yeah.
He is totally a narcissist.
He has a chance to truly connect to his pseudo daughter. And the first thing is, there wouldn't be a you without, well, technically everybody can say that to their
Yeah.
offspring. So how is that
Yeah.
any special?
Well, I just hope Corey knows about money and credit cards when she walked away. I hope she stole a couple of his credit cards so she could pay for food and a roof over her head.
Oh, you kidding? She's gorgeous. She'll get somebody to pay for her. There's so many.
Yeah, someone will drive right up to her and be like, "So, you selling?"
There's a lot of social engineering
Really.
in this episode.
She'll be on the corner.
Yeah. She'll be taking care. She'll be acting, walking up with the guy with the broken window and say, "Hey, I need some help." And he'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I can help you."
Yeah, get in.
Yeah, that's all she's got to do. All she's got to do is walk over to the Nature Dina restaurant and says, "Look, I'm really hungry. I don't have a place to be, and I'll let you stare at my cleavage if you feed me." Okay, sure.
Men are so
Well,
simple.
It sounds like sad, but it's like that. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Men are simple.
Going back to sad men, Adam Soong is he reminds me, he's an example of what an incel would be if he wanted a child, but no one would fuck him. So then he turns like into a mad scientist to create his own children.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
I mean, the stories about mom are not real. That's fucked up.
Oh, that's so fucked up.
He just made this little family. And she's like, I'm out. I'm sorry. I got the tools. I'm smart and I'm out of here.
Yeah, I know this isn't healthy and I'm not going to stay here.
No.
Parents lie to their kids all the time. Like my mom was told by her mom that the reason she didn't know her dad was because she was born a girl instead of a boy. So, stuff like that.
That's why they have the term Munchausen syndrome, where you get mothers that want their kids to rely on them for everything. And so they just make up stuff and say they're sick and keep them like that. And soon, oh my God, is such a brilliant person, but also so fucked up in the head, and she still is living in the present because she's mad at her pseudo dad. She gets out there, she stops to turn around and the grass is soft. The grass is kind of soft and it feels nice before she bounces.
Well, I mean, he does have a nice lawn.
Oh, that's true.
That was probably the first time she got her toes in the grass, too.
Yeah, and it'll be her first time that she's going to walk down the sidewalk with no shoes, and the first time she's going to walk down a road.
Everything is going to be the first time.
It burns. Oh my God, this is amazing.
It makes me wonder what they're going to do with her character down the line.
Oh,
What is all this sticky stuff on the sidewalk?
Oh my God.
You had to go there. It was gum. Somebody spit their gum out on the ground and it's stuck.
God.
That's the worst when you step into somebody's gum on the sidewalk. That's horrible.
Well, I don't know. I could think of a few worse things to step in.
Well, yeah, people walk their dogs on the street and don't clean up after them. That's pretty bad too.
All you got to do is go on a New York subway.
Yeah, this is true. New York subways, I don't know if they cleaned it up, but the last time I was there, the train was really crowded, except for the little 2-seater. And there was like a half circle around where there were 2 seats where people could sit. And it's like, well, if that spot is empty, I'm going to go sit there. I go through it, and there was a homeless person sitting there whacking off, just smiling at everybody. And I was like, okay, all right, that's the reason why those 2 seats are empty.
Oh, my.
That's called whack-off room, huh?
Oh, jeez.
No, the subways are, the last time I was in New York, the subways are much cleaner than they used to be, definitely.
Good, because back in the 70s and 80s, it was Wild West back then.
Well, it's a big train system. I imagine there's all kinds of things going on in those trains.
Yeah, it is. But
I would rather not imagine what goes on in those trains.
Yeah, just ride the train, get from point A to point B. You're done. You're gone. Don't worry about it.
It's called commuting. They hired a whole bunch of police. So Patrick is right at that one regard. I heard that the police and undercover cops has infiltrated everything down there. That's when that guy went to go drive down the pier and hit people, within 2 blocks, he was all of a sudden surrounded and shot because the cops literally, they want to protect New York's status as a tourist destination. And so they're all over the place now. But yeah, she's going to get out. And the fact that he homeschooled her, so to speak, and she read all those books, she could probably go get a job. She's got enough of a fabricated history. Well,
that in the mind of a robot. So
yeah, and so she's going to probably do well because
she's a smart cookie. Yeah,
and soon he was talking about his daughter, so that means he had to fabricate some sort of history for her.
I hope she was smart enough to steal a credit card or his PayPal password or something.
Well, she probably has it. So.
Well, you saw her hacking Google, so she's
hacking Google.
Yeah,
she's hacked the Gibson. She hacked the Gibson.
I was surprised that the most scary and exciting thing about this episode for me was the moment Jurati showed up in Soong's lab.
Yeah, it was at the end of this act, right?
It was, right
at the end of this act, yeah.
She shows up and he's like, am I dreaming or is this a nightmare?
A little of both.
And she's like, it could be both. And her
it depends on you.
Her voice is like, I don't know if they dubbed in the Queen's voice or is that the actress doing Jurati's.
So that's next section.
Amazing.
What you're talking about is next section. But that was so amazing. But she was so good.
This section too, though, it felt like it. I'm just like so mesmerized by the Borg Queen.
No, she is such a phenomenal actress. She sounded and acted just like Annie or whoever the actress was that played the Borg Queen.
Annie Wersching.
She did it so perfectly.
She did.
So perfect.
I have a lot more respect for her ability as an actor. After seeing
And you stick her in a red dress. Doesn't matter how torn up that thing is getting. That dress is so torn up right now.
No, she's
Still looks
wearing
good.
the dress. Not the dress is wearing her. She's wearing the hell out of that dress.
She's hot as hell. And even with her hair messed up and no lipstick on and like obviously she's messed up, she's like fucking hot.
Yeah.
It's the batteries.
It's the batteries. Yeah,
Magnetic
it's
attraction.
totally the batteries.
Yeah, I have to get you in that.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Nope, it's Duracell.
It's the Duracell Energizers.
And now Nathan has rubbed off on Rocky and he's telling dad jokes.
Oh, that is wonderful. I'm loving this.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a bad joke, right?
I love
all
dad
this
jokes.
possible illusion. Nobody will know if Rocky gets rid of it. So there. Okay, next section.
Hi, Captain. Act 4. Fork in the Road. Storyline D. Looks like the kid hit all of the wrong buttons because the transporters aren't working. Storyline A. Picard and Guinan are back in the same room together discussing how humans are special. Derp. Humans are fucked up, but they just keep trying because there's a deep desire to evolve. Perfect time for the FBI agent to walk in and announce that he was wrong and he is now being fired. Guinan feels for him and imparts some deep wisdom from her species. Something to think about as he lets them go. Back at Guinan's bar, he meets up with Raffi and Seven, who tell Picard about the malfunctioning transporter. Picard suggests using Talon's transporter, and they say goodbye to Guinan. Storyline B. The Borg Queen is using Soong for her own purposes. She tells him that he's at a fork in the road. In one future, he'll be called the father of the future and have statues made of him. In the other, he'll die from alcohol poisoning, suffocating on his own vomit, alone and forgotten. Now he's invested, wanting to guarantee that future of fame and worship. What does he have to do? Stop both Picards. Oh, Soong is excited now. Not only can he get her into mission control, but he can supply her with a fresh team of ex-Marines ready for assimilation.
It only stings for a minute.
Only a minute.
Yes, the mercenaries, the badasses. What, you're going to assimilate us? They have no idea.
Yeah, she reaches out and touches him and had enough car batteries in her, I guess, to do it.
Did you guys notice when she was looking at her fingers, it showed the nanobites and they looked like miniature Borg ships?
That was a fun little special effect. I
That
enjoyed
was
that.
neat.
Yeah.
That was really neat.
So she's out there and she's doing it. What I also just skipped to earlier in this section, when Wells comes in and he's got a box, and I expected Picard to go like, "What's in the box?" Because they don't fire people
What's
like
in
that.
the box?
I was surprised it was only one box. I got so much shit at work when I had to move out of my office. It took a day, it took a long time to move all the stuff.
Yeah, same here.
He had a small cubicle.
It's only one box, but it's a dick in the box.
Oh, it was up too high.
Oh.
But he came in and he had the box and he's like, "Well, what happened?" It's like too many tilting at windmills, too many aliens. And I drew a blank, which means he didn't tell me. He's like, "I thought you said you put everything to your superiors." Because I lied. So that means he never did give them the communicator.
Well, because he wanted to prove that Picard was an alien. He wanted the credit for that. And that's why he didn't tell anybody.
It means he locked up a couple people in the basement and had the camera unplugged and all this shit, breaking all the rules for, say, aliens. Yeah, I think that might get somebody fired.
And don't forget there was blood on the table, which means he's done this before.
That's what's going on in that downstairs basement room of the FBI office.
In Mulder's old office.
In Mulder's old place. Yeah, there should have been an "I Want to Believe" poster right there in the corner. I think they missed that one. That would have been badass.
Yeah, but he gave them their stuff back. And then the look on his eye when Guinan admitted that she's a Lorian.
Yes.
It's like, oh my God, an actual alien this time.
I'm surprised he didn't go back to the bar with him. I'm really surprised he was like, okay, now I'm with you guys. You have to take me with you.
Well, I think he is. I think next episode, I bet he's going to be involved.
He might, because
But he was probably
so
trying to
he's
clean
his
up the
own
wet
person.
spot after Guinan told him that.
Oh my
could
God.
be.
There was a visible, there was a visible shiver,
Oh, yeah.
but now they're free and they make it back over to the bar and they're like, okay, what we're going to do. And they go to Picard like Picard has all the answers, which shows the mantle of leadership. It's like, what are we going to do now?
They've shown that before too. It's like, we can't get this done without Picard. We need Picard. I love that Picard is that important in everybody's story. It's like, we've got to have Picard. The show is kind of named after him, but still, it's like, that's how cool Picard is. Everybody's got to have him involved.
Yeah, and he's the executive producer, so it's nice to make sure.
There you go.
Minor detail.
That's it.
You gotta have that in there. But then when Jurati, when they're there again, like Heather said it earlier, and like everyone was saying, she does such a great job acting.
Oh, yeah.
And then she puts down and she looks at the guy and she gives him almost a loving touch. This is only going to sting for a moment.
Yeah.
And just like a Marine, so proud of you, dude. He didn't even flinch. He just his eyes, and I get enough for everybody. Come on, come to mama. Come. But it makes me think of what you said.
My nano probes bring the boys to the yard.
But what was it? Who said that the probe that Seven said that they were imperfect? Somebody mentioned that.
The imperfections of the assimilations.
Who mentioned that? That's
Seven.
Seven mentioned that.
Yeah, but no, one of you guys brought it up.
Oh, me.
Okay, you. Okay, I think that's going to tie into these guys.
Yes, exactly. Her drones. They're not going to be fully assimilated.
I mean, if you saw his face was just kind of turned green and like a little bit translucent. So that was like, there was not a whole lot of...
Imperfect metals cause imperfect assimilations.
Right.
Yeah. So there might be ways she may not be able to control them fully.
Exactly.
Because next week's the last episode, isn't it?
I thought we had two left.
Next to last.
Yeah,
so we have two left. So it's basically, it throws a wild card in there.
I'm really excited, about what's coming up, because pieces are coming into place.
Yeah.
And it's 2 episodes. It's the definite roller coaster of a Star Trek series. We're up high. We're about to jump down the slope and go whee.
Yeah, it's going to be a rapid slide to the end.
And no, not to the end. Right into Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, and then season 3 will be coming.
Yeah.
Because
it's a double episode with the last episode of Picard,
oh, really?
The first season of Strange New Worlds.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have a double episode that week.
So that means we got to do 2 short reviews.
2 again, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we may not. We may not be able to do short ones if it's the final episode and the first episode.
As short as possible.
Yeah, we'll
like under 3 minutes.
Because I got a good crew and I know we can figure this out. So it'll probably be like we did last time. We'll do the synopsis rather than the act by act review.
Yeah, like a full episode synopsis.
Yeah, so we're going to synopsis rather than act by act. We're just going to give a brief overview and at a cut time. So you guys just saw a crew meeting unintentionally. But it was
behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm just curious how they're going to put everything together. They got to tie up what Rios is going to be doing with the doctor. Mm-hmm. They got to tie up what's happening with, if they're going to even talk about Soong's daughter.
I think what they're doing is, this is the way that I'm looking at it, is season 2 and season 3 are actually one season. And then this is like the middle of the season where it's right at the end. And then season 3 will continue this storyline.
You're probably right, because there's a whole bunch of TNG people coming and we don't have any idea of how they're going to fold into the storyline.
Nope.
Yeah, this is very exciting. And they kind of mentioned it in the after show, the Ready Room, that this whole season has been in different chunks. Like everybody's had their own little side story going on, and now it's coming together at the end in one big shabang. So this is so
it's
cool.
It's a gangbang.
Yeah, it's going to be a giant orgy of trekkiness.
They're going to have to do it in such a way to maintain excitement to the next season. They always have a good way of doing that. So it won't be a cliffhanger per se, I think. I think it's going to be something that shows this huge spark of hope.
Well, I wonder if there'll be a cliffhanger, but they'll resolve this story and then leave us wanting to know what the fuck is happening next time.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Did you really say spark of hope?
Yeah, I did. You caught that, huh? That's right.
Lame.
I'd be nice. Thank you.
Lame.
I could have went the spark of life, but I didn't. So
Okay, Frankenfurter.
I knew you'd get it. All right. So as we get ready to wind down here, unless somebody else has anything extra to add, it's going to be time for ratings. So Heather, what would you give this?
I give this episode a 8.5. It was a really good, solid episode. The 0.5 is just I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed Jurati's performance as the Borg Queen. Like, I seriously went back and watched that over and over again. I enjoyed that so much. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to bump it up to a 9. I really like this. This was good.
So you get a full 9 of fulfillment. Outstanding.
Well, she would watch. She just kept replaying that Jurati scene and just, doing naughty things to herself.
You mean fingering the head?
like the convention in Chicago, Lady Boner?
Lady Boner!
And how about you there, number 1?
I'll give it an 8. I think it was pretty good. There was a lot of storylines going on, lots of action, lots of interesting things happening and developments.
Mm-hmm. And Chief?
I'm at 8.75. I'm excited. I'm titillated, but I know the next two are going to just like, oh yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, if you're titillated, go to the holodeck.
Okay. Mine started at a base 7, but then build up with some of the other stuff. The 7 is because, like, how do you find a big Viking looking ginger and the shoes fit? So that kind of bothered me a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
So that kind of annoyed me. 2.
Well, Jurati could have had big feet.
Yeah, it was just true. And then, or she could have Borgified her feet and made it bigger. And then you also have Rios is just like, be damned everybody, I'm horny. So that kind of bothered me a little bit.
I'm sorry, he can't do anything wrong with that woman. She loves him. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, he's pulling a Kirk.
That's what she said. However, that 7 is built upon. I added to the 7 because of John DeLance. I mean, that moved it up to a 7 3/4 right there. The guy's just awesome. 2, Agnes. Allison Pill's performance bumped it up again to about a 8.5. She is just phenomenal. Really phenomenal.
Yeah.
And her sister Willow Pill just won Drag Race.
Oh, I didn't know that. Very cool.
No, it's not really her sister, but the drag queen's name is Willow Pill.
Oh, and then the last little bit to make it towards the 9 for me was, again, the actress that plays Guinan. The interplay between the fact that she could hold her own against John DeLance was impressive.
No, she was amazing.
She really was. So I started with the 7, ended with the 9. So I started from the bottom and now I'm here.
7 of 9.
And so, oh, wow. Yeah, really. Thank you. I didn't realize it did that. I had hit in genius. So that was cool.
Sure, that's what you're calling it.
Oh, of course. Now, I got a question for you. This is going to be the first time I can ask you this question and you will have a response. What's the title of the next week's episode?
It's not listed in IMDb.
You're kidding, right?
It's up.
No.
I even know it.
Wil Wheaton's show had it announced.
Well, it's hide and seek, but it's not listed in IMDb.
Yeah, but see, that's the game you usually play on your first date. So I thought you'd have that right off the bat.
If a Time Lord tells you the name of the episode, that's the name of the episode.
Yeah.
You believe it because he was there in time, half the time. So thanks everybody for joining us. This show was a little strange and a little weird, but so are we. So you get what you pay for. So I don't want to hear any complaints because you're not paying for anything. Only the people who are paying for it. So there's that. A winner for our episode who's going to be invited as a guest will be announced right after we find out if it's all right for us to kidnap them. Because we're just not going to grab them off the bat. If they agree to be on, then you'll hear them. So
thanks. It's not really a kidnapping.
We may kidnap them, but they won't appear without permission on the show.
Yeah, well, we ask, can we have you as a guest on the show? And they say yes. And then we don't tell them when we're going to get them. So we just swoop in and grab them in the middle of whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah.
We've had people, we've talked in showers and
getting dressed,
cooking. Yeah. So, well, that was a weird one. We had to send that one right back. So, yeah, that was a massive interruptus. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for listening to us. Remember, anything that you've heard today, you can get on the show notes. If we mentioned any products or things, you'll have it right there where you can find us on all of our websites. And depending upon when you listen to us, I just realized you might not get our show notes. So just go to our new and improved Starfleet Underground. We have the HTTPS for your security. And you can see all of our notes and information and links, as well as pictures of our guests, and see what the crew looks like. We're on every place that you can possibly almost find a podcast. So if you want to reach any of us, do the collective at starfleetunderground.com. Just address it to one of the members of the ship, because we all get it. And that's why it's called the collective. Get it? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Know what I mean? So thanks for joining us. Make sure you not only have a great week, but make it so. God damn it, Dot. Why'd you have my room full of cakes? When I said stop it, I didn't mean for you to bring all of them. What do you mean number one says my cakes bring all the boys to the yard? I don't care what he told you. Just the light is still on?
And then they throw up.
Sorry. Go away. I am not really here. Goodbye.
And if you can, support the show by going to patreon.com/Starfleet Underground. Lots of perks to choose from, and you might even like some of them. Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter at StarfleetUnderG, and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.